Hi everybody, this is Miss Pi, and in this video I'm going to show you how to graph some absolute value functions. And just to pull up the basic absolute value function, put an x in there, and there we go. So this is our basic absolute value function. Um, you'll notice that this is not one of the nice ones that we can just click and drag it where we want it. And also the absolute value function is a v that goes either straight up or straight down by making it negative. Um, and if you look on my eagle, I've got a lot of places that are kind of diagonal V's, but I don't have any that are straight up or straight down. So there's a couple options. You can get something that's close, like the talons on this claw right here are almost straight up and down. So I could go ahead and graph the absolute value symbol right there. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you what to do if you can't get anything that's straight up or down or anywhere close to it. So we're just going to take this and we're going to drop it down 1, 2, 3. Now hold on, about 2. That's almost 2.5. We're going to drop it down about 2.5 and then move the vertex over maybe 0.5. Okay, so let's pull up our equation to move it over to the right. We're going to do a minus, and then I said 0.5, and then we're going to also drop it down to 0.5. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, so we get this shape right here, and that looks pretty good. I just wanted a little bit narrower, and so we want to go ahead and stretch it vertically. And let's try a maybe a 1.5. Let's see what that does. Okay, so you can see how it makes the claws just a little bit closer together. And notice it doesn't really match up with either one, and I'm not too worried about it because I am again going to take the picture off at the very end and we won't see the picture. But I think if I just move this over and down just a smidge more, then it'll look a lot better. So instead of 2.5 moving it down, let's try 2.75 and then maybe 2.75 here, and let's see what that does. Okay, that's a little bit too much. So let's try a 6. Try putting 6s instead of 7s. Let's see how that goes. And that, oh my goodness, that looks really good. It looks like I probably just need to move it up just a smidge more. So, whoa, that I didn't mean to do. Let's do 2.6 is what I want there. And when we make that line thicker, that may be just about perfect. And let's make it thicker. And yes, that looks really good. Okay, so now all I need to do is set my limit to that. I probably want it to, and here again, because I'm changing my picture just slightly, I'm not stuck at any specific length on those claws. So I just want something that'll give me just enough of a claw that I can see it, but not too much that it's running all over the pencil that the eagle's supposed to be holding. So let's try a point. Let me see, maybe a 0.25 is less than or equal to x, and that x is going to be less than or equal to maybe 1. Let's see what we get there. And that actually looks pretty good. Let me see. Yep. So now if we just change the color to yellow, then all's good in the world. I might want to go ahead and extend this line, but I don't know. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so now if you have your picture and you can't figure out anywhere to get a absolute value that's straight up or down, you could use it just like you would a linear equation, and just graph it somewhere. Anywhere that you would normally use a linear equation, you can use the absolute value equation and then just limit it so you only see one side of your absolute value. So for instance, what am I doing? I don't know what I just did, but it was the wrong thing. There we go. That's what I want. So let's see. Let's say this part here, this part of the wing, if I tried to do a V straight up and down, it wouldn't look anything like the tail feathers that I want it to be. But I could graph this, just this section of the tail feathers. And let me see. I know I'm going to want to move it down. So, and I'm also going to want to move it to the left. So maybe to the left 5 and move it down. Let me look, about 4.5 maybe. Let's see what that does. So you see here, that's actually pretty close. I probably just need to stretch it out just a little bit more, maybe move it up a little bit. Actually, I want this wider. So I'm going to vertically compress it, maybe 0.75. Let's see what that does. And that looks like, if you look here, this part is what I'm going for. So I might just keep that part for my the tail feathers. Okay. So I would just limit it from 5, maybe from -5 to -4. And I will only use that part of the line. Now, guys, I've seen tons of my students that try to get this such as line and use it as an absolute value line. Those aren't the same thing. Please don't try to use those. So we said -5 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to -4. Let's see what that does. And it almost disappears, but it's such a good fit right there. All right, so there we go. I do probably want to make it thicker. I always like my lines a little bit thicker so they're easier to see. All right, there you go.